If you are like me and you're in business and you spend a lot of time in the car, it's essential that you start to use that time effectively to learn and really enhance your mind to gain new ideas and tips on how you can get better business results. I spend a lot of time in my car and I use that time to listen to podcasts and books that can help me develop and grow. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 key books that I believe should be on your listening or reading list, that if you do take note of and actually look at, it's going to help you immensely. It's going to give you great ideas and tips that's going to make a massive difference in your personal and business life. Let's take a look at the video and see what are the new 5 books that I think you should be listening to. So book number 1 is a book called Cant Hurt Me by a guy called David Goggins. Cant Hurt Me is a brilliant book that I've only actually just finished listening to, but I strongly recommend it as a book that you should read if you want to be successful in business and in sales. David Goggins' story is one of the most inspirational I've listened to, and his focus on generating your mindset to be in the right place to achieve anything you want in your life or in business is something that I'm learning from literally from the moment I listened to it. His story, he was a Navy SEAL, but he had an upbringing as a child that was very difficult. But he has gone on over the last number of years to basically prove that you can achieve anything in life and do anything if you callous your mind in the right way. And to achieve success, you've got to be prepared to go through a bit of pain to be able to come out the other side with the results you want. The book is just a brilliant listen. He talks about so many things that I think are relevant, one of which being an accountability mirror. Being able to look yourself in the mirror every day and say, actually the fault for not something happening today or for something going wrong is probably not the fault of someone else, it's my issue, it's my fault. And I would urge you, especially in sales, one of the key things we can do in sales a lot is to blame other people or say it's not our fault. When actually, if we look in the accountability mirror, we say, actually, I could have done differently. I could have listened instead of talked. I could have engaged with that prospect in a different way. I could have written that email differently. His focus on the accountability mirror, I think, is so key. And the other thing I really took from that book, which is key, is that you have to go through repetitions of sometimes difficult things in order to get great results. And again, in sales, that's so common because we sometimes have to go through lots of cold calls or targeted calls, as I call it, or engaging with lots of prospects before we get the results we want. So if you get a chance, either buy the book or download it. I can assure you that if you listen to it, it's going to give you some really great insights into how he's dealt with some of the biggest challenges in his world and how he's come through the other side. And I think if you do that and take on board what he's learned, as I'm trying to do, it's going to make you a much better person and going to enable you to get better results. So the second book that I really recommend you take a look at is something called The Ultimate Jim Rohn Library. Jim Rohn is a business guru who was probably started his career in the 60s and 70s, but was one of the founding fathers around personal development, how you can train your mind to be in a better position. Jim Rohn's books and he's released hundreds of them over time, but this one is one which is his ultimate library. I just say it's such a great inspirational source of how you can better yourself as a person. People might say, who is Jim Rohn? Well, if you actually looked at someone like Tony Robbins, who's one of the world's most popular and famous inspirational speakers, he actually started by learning and working for Jim Rohn in the 70s and 80s. He started his career by listening to this great man talk around how you can personally develop yourself and be in a position where you can achieve results. And one of the things that Jim Rohn talks about a lot is about habits and disciplines. And I've talked about that so much from sales success, is if you create those habits and disciplines, you can get the results you want. So I'd really suggest that you take some time to listen to Jim Rohn. Listen to what he has to say. Listen to how he talks around how you can train your mind and train yourself as a person through good disciplines and good habits to get better results. And I can assure you, it's a great listen. It's going to really help motivate you. And I believe it's going to help you get the results you want for your business. The third book that I'm recommending to you that I think is a brilliant read and listen is a book called They Ask, You Answer by a guy called Marcus Sheridan. Marcus Sheridan gives a story of how in 2008, when the American stock market crash happened and the world financially came to an end, he and his business partners nearly went out of business in their swimming pool renovation company because the market just fell apart. There were no prospects, people weren't buying anymore. And at that point in time, he learnt some key lessons that he shares in his book that I think make a massive impact and difference for all of us in business today. The concept behind Marcus Sheridan's book is all about they ask, you answer. And his mindset is focused on saying your prospects in the world that you work within, in the services and products that you offer, have a series of different questions that go on in their mind about your industry and about you as a company and what you offer. And the reality is they're thinking these things anyway. And so Marcus Sheridan says your job as a business owner is to put together the responses and the information to share with those prospects the answers that they've got. Some of the time that might even involve competitive scenarios. And on Marcus's book, he talks around how in certain cases he would even compare his product with some of his other local competitors in the area. And the reason being because his prospects were thinking those things. So his view was, I'm going to share it with them anyway, because if they see it coming from me, they're going to build trust in who I am, because I'm being very open about the fact as to what our competitors do and how they have a choice of working with them or us. The point he makes are so valid, and that's that your prospects are thinking these things. So if they're thinking it, what's the best way to be able to deal with it? And that's to be able to present content, whether it's blogs, videos, articles, materials, research, awards, whatever it is, that can basically answer the question that the prospect's got in their mind. So take a look, make some time to read They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. I really strongly recommend it. And then take the notes and actions that he says and look at how you can maybe answer those prospect questions on your website, on your social media feeds before prospects engage with you. It's going to make a big difference and help you qualify prospects effectively and get better sales results. So the fourth book that I really recommend you take a look at is a book called New Sales Simplified by an American author called Mike Weinberg. Mike's books are focused on really great, interesting sales stories and scenarios, which I can resonate with and I'm sure you'll be able to resonate with as business owners and sales professionals. Mike shares a number of thoughts on why salespeople don't get the results that they want. And it comes down to a number of reasons of things that they're not doing. They haven't got enough prospects in their pipeline, or they've not engaged with the prospect in the right way. Mike's certainly an author that I've certainly learned things from, and I believe you would learn things from. And he shares a lot of his thoughts and wisdom after having a stellar career in a sales environment for many years and then running his own sales consultancy business. I found the book really interesting, really intriguing, and gave me lots of insights into how I can improve the way I do things, and obviously things that I agreed with in the way in which he says about how you engage with prospects and how you question and interact with people that you're looking to work with. So I recommend you should take a look at Mike's book and look at the number of 16 or 17 reasons he gives as to why businesses fail. Take those learnings and look at see how you can adjust them and use them in your own engagement, and it's going to help you get better results. It's going to stop you missing out on sales opportunities and stop you losing opportunities that you should be winning. My final book that I recommend you start listening to over the next few months is a great book by a guy called Phil Knight called Shoe Dog. Phil Knight, for those of you that don't know, was the founder of Nike and is the business that's grown to be $1 billion and billions of dollars in terms of sales worldwide. But when you actually look at the way and the origins of how the company started and what happened to that story, it's a great story to listen to. It gives us all inspiration and hope as entrepreneurs that we can make our businesses grow to such a level. And it also gives us some insights into even some of the challenges you've got to take really good care of, even as your business grows, that you need to ensure don't affect you. Phil talks about in his book, even though his business was flying and growing through substantial sales, his relationships with his Japanese supplier, who provided his trainers initially, meant that there were a number of times where cash nearly became the reason why they went out of business. A number of occasions they nearly went bust because they didn't have enough cash in their business. And as we all know, cash in a business is key to being able to do a number of different activities. So I really recommend, it's just a great story of how an entrepreneur has gone from nothing to where he is now as a billionaire owner who connects with great sports people and famous people worldwide. But it's a story that really warms you, especially with some of the challenges and heartache he dealt with years later in his life when one of his sons passed away. It's certainly a story that you can use to inspire you and to show you that anything can be made possible if you believe it's possible and you relentlessly focus on achieving it. So there are my 5 books that I believe are great listens and reads for you to focus on. And I encourage you to download these books, buy them off Amazon, buy them from Waterstones, wherever you go to buy your books or to listen to your books. Make some time, take these books on board, Use the learnings that they can give you to improve yourself and what you do. And if you do that, it's going to help you get better sales results, it's going to help you get better business results, which in turn is going to give you the happiness and joy that you want as a business owner. My name is James White. I'm the UK's leading prospect conversion expert. I hope you like the video. If you think there's a book that I should be suggesting and reading, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm always on the lookout for great books and ideas. Please put them in the comment section below. And if you like the video, if you can share it with colleagues, that'd be great. Also get a chance to subscribe to this channel. You can make sure you get videos every Saturday morning when I release them, and make sure that you're getting the insights and tips that are going to help you grow and make sure you're getting the sales results you want. I look forward to sharing more videos and thoughts with you soon.